Hi friends, happy Friday Eve. We are reading Officer Spence Makes No Sense. And so far, this book really hasn't made a ton of sense. We have a lot of questions, right? We don't know what's investigating. We assume it's about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but Officer Spence seems to be going crazy for I'm not even sure what reason. So if you are following along, we are on chapter number 4 called True or False, and it's on page number 26. Go first? Where? I don't even know where I was going, but I was sure I didn't want to go there first. Officer Spence took me to room 104. That's Dr. Brad's room. He's our school counselor. He helps kids with their problems, but right now I don't have any problems, so I definitely don't have to see him. Dr. Brad doesn't come to school every day because he works with a bunch of different schools, so his room is actually empty. Sit down, Officer Spence ordered. I sat on the only chair in the room. There were wires sticking out of it and leading to a scary-looking machine on the table. Arlo looks pretty worried, doesn't he? A little nervous. Where's Mr. Klutz? I asked. What did you do with him? He's probably in the slammer by now, Officer Spence replied. Slammer? I've never even heard of a slammer. It sounds like it's some sort of torture machine. What's a slammer? I asked. He's in the pen, said Officer Spence. How could I know? How could Mr. Klutz fit inside a pen? I asked. I didn't know what he was talking about. If Mr. Klutz was in a pen, it would have to be a really big pen. Where would all the ink go? And how could anybody use a pen with a principal inside it? Mr. Klutz is in the stir, said Officer Spence. He's in the big house, the cooler, the joint, the clinkety-clank, the pokey, the hose-gow, the calaboose. Huh? I said. He's in jail, Officer Spence shouted. Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? I asked. Never mind all that, Mr. Klutz said. Officer Spence told me 10 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches have been stolen just this month. There's a crime wave sweeping elementary school, and I'm going to put a stop to it once and for all. Officer Spence looked really mad. He turned on the desk lamp and pointed it at my face, and then he hooked up a bunch of those scary wires to my arms and my head. Check out the picture. What are you doing? I asked. This machine is a lie detector, Officer Spence told me. If you lie, it will make a beeping sound. So you better tell the truth if you know what's good for you. Okay, let's get started. What's your name? AJ. I looked at the lie detector test to see if it would beep, but it didn't. Very good, said Officer Spence. And what does AJ stand for? Arlo Jervis, I admitted. That's right, Officer Spence said. The lie detector test did not beep. So, you must be telling the truth. Good boy. Do you like school, AJ? No, I said. That's true, he said. Tell me, Arlo Jervis, is there anything you would like to tell me about school? No, I said. Beep. That's a lie, Officer Spence said. You said something. You like something or somebody at school. I do not, I said. Beep! Liar, shouted Officer Spence. I bet you like Andrea, that girl in your class with the curly brown hair. I do not, I said. Beep! You're lying. I am not, I shouted. I hate Andrea. Beep! Went the machine. Liar, shouted Officer Spence. You're secretly in love with her, aren't you? No, I said. Beep, said the machine. Hey, I said, what does any of this have to do with the stolen peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Oh, yeah, the sandwich, Officer Spence said. Did you steal it? No, I said. How could I steal it? It was my sandwich, and I didn't even get to eat it. Officer Spence was about to ask me another question, but you'll never believe in a million years who walked in the door at that moment. Nobody, because if you walked into a door, it would hurt real bad. But you'll never believe who opened the door and walked into the room. It was Andrea, and right behind her were Emily, Ryan, and Michael. I'm on the principal's advisory committee, said Andrea. It says right here in the elementary handbook that you can't give lie detector tests to students without their parents' permission. Let me see that, Officer Spence demanded. Andrea handed him the elementary school handbook and showed him a page in it. See, she said. Fine, Officer Spence replied. I'll find another way to nab the peanut butter and jelly sandwich bandit. I've seen these criminals in action. They'll take anything that's not nailed down. So should we nail down our sandwiches? Asked Michael. If you nailed down a sandwich, it would probably be pretty hard to eat, said Ryan. You could try and eat around the nail, I said. Quiet, Officer Spence barked. You kids think you're pretty smart, don't you? You think peanut butter and jelly sandwiches grow on trees? No, we all said. I tried for a second to imagine peanut butter and jelly sandwiches growing on a tree because that would be kind of cool. When you were hungry, you could just go outside and, pick a sandwich. I hope they throw the book at you kids, Officer Spence murmured. Why would they throw a book at us? Asked Michael. Throwing a book might ruin the binding, said Emily. Mrs. Ruby, the librarian, says that you shouldn't throw books, that you should treat them with TLC. That stands for tender loving care. Enough, yelled Officer Spence. When I'm through with you kids, they might give you the chair. Why would they give us a chair, I asked. So if you steal a sandwich, they give you a chair, asked Ryan. That's kind of weird. What if you have, all the chairs you need, Michael asked. I said enough, said Officer Spence. Oh, by the way, Andrea, Arlo Jervis here, he's in love with you. Ooh, everybody said. Is that true, Arlo? Asked Andrea, all smiley. I always sort of thought you secretly liked me. I don't, I shouted. Beep, said the machine. It is true, Andrea said. It is not, I yelled. Beep, said the machine. Ooh, Ryan said. Adrian and Andrea are in love. When are you going to get married? Asked Michael. Never, I yelled. Beep, said the machine. If those guys weren't my best friends, I would hate them. You kids are no help at all, Officer Spence shouted. Get out of here. Go back to class. I'll find the peanut butter and jelly bandit myself. I'll tell you, that Officer Spence, he makes no sense. That was a pretty funny chapter, wasn't it? Poor Arlo. Poor Andrea. It's so embarrassing. But it does confirm our suspicions that he does like her. Interesting. I'll see you tomorrow.